The globalization of K-pop has brought Korean artists and their creative outputs into the international spotlight. With this growing influence comes the responsibility of cultural sensitivity, particularly when artists incorporate elements from cultures outside of their own. A recent controversy surrounding the girl group Kiss of Life illustrates the importance of cultural awareness and the consequences of perceived appropriation. During a live stream on April 2, 2025, meant to celebrate member Julie's birthday, the group adopted an old-school hip-hop theme. However, the use of cornrows, bantu knots, gold chains, and exaggerated mannerisms associated with black culture led to accusations of racism and cultural appropriation. This dissertation explores the controversy in detail, examining the incident's cultural implications, fan reactions, the agency's response, and the broader context of appropriation in the K-pop industry. Chapter 1. Understanding cultural appropriation. Cultural appropriation occurs when elements of a minority culture are adopted by members of a dominant culture, often without understanding, acknowledgement, or respect. It becomes especially problematic when these elements are used out of context, trivialized, or commodified. Cultural appropriation differs from cultural appreciation, which involves genuine respect, collaboration, and knowledge sharing. In the context of K-pop, cultural appropriation has long been a recurring issue, as K-pop borrows heavily from black musical genres such as R&B, hip-hop, and soul. There have been numerous instances where artists have used traditionally black hairstyles, slang, fashion, and dance without proper cultural understanding. The controversy surrounding Kiss of Life is not an isolated event but part of a larger, systemic pattern within the industry. Chapter 2. The April 2 live stream and the spark of backlash. On April 2, 2025, Kiss of Life hosted a live stream to celebrate member Julie's birthday. The event featured a hip-hop theme, with the members styled in outfits and accessories evocative of 90s hip-hop culture. However, what caught fans' attention, and sparked immediate backlash, was the use of gold chains, cornrows, and bantu knots. These hairstyles and accessories are deeply tied to black identity and history. Additionally, the group engaged in exaggerated hand gestures and vocal patterns that some viewers associated with stereotypical portrayals of black people. For many international fans, particularly those of African descent, the performance did not appear as a tribute to hip-hop, but rather as a caricature of black culture. Social media was quickly flooded with criticisms, with fans accusing the group of using black culture as a costume. One tweet went viral, stating, "What Kiss of Life did is modern-day blackface and cultural mockery, dressing up as black people like we're Halloween costumes, while indulging in exaggerated stereotypes? This wasn't accidental." Chapter 3. Hip-hop in Korea. A complex relationship. Korea's relationship with hip-hop culture is multifaceted. Hip-hop first entered the Korean music scene in the 1990s and gained popularity through artists like Seo Taiji and Boys. Since then, hip-hop has become an integral part of K-pop. However, the genre's American origins and roots in black communities have often been overlooked in its Korean adaptation. While Korean artists have demonstrated technical proficiency in rap and production, criticism has persisted regarding their limited understanding of hip-hop's cultural and historical context. For example, many artists have used African American vernacular English, AAVE, worn durgs and grills, or adopted slang without grasping their significance. This repeated pattern suggests a tendency within K-pop to borrow aesthetics and sounds while disregarding the struggles and identities they represent. The Kiss of Life incident fits within this trend. While the group may have intended to pay homage to hip-hop, their execution leaned heavily on superficial tropes, contributing to a harmful cycle of cultural misrepresentation. Chapter 4. Fan reactions and social media dynamics. The controversy gained momentum due to social media platforms like Twitter, X, Instagram, and TikTok. International fans, especially black K-pop fans, led the conversation, providing historical context on why cornrows and bantu knots are not simply cool hairstyles but are rooted in black resistance, identity, and survival. Some fans defended the group, arguing that their intentions were pure and that the backlash was exaggerated. However, many others countered that intention does not erase impact. The live stream, regardless of its purpose, perpetuated stereotypes and reinforced the idea that black culture can be commodified for entertainment. Educational threads and videos circulated, aiming to explain why the group's styling was offensive. This incident thus became not just a scandal, but a moment of collective education and resistance. On April 3, 2025, S2 Entertainment, the company managing Kiss of Life, issued a public apology. We sincerely apologize for causing discomfort to our viewers. The true purpose of the content was to celebrate hip-hop culture, which serves as much of the musical inspiration for Kiss of Life. We apologize for our shortcomings in recognizing the negative cultural implications that our content would be perceived as. While some fans appreciated the quick response, others criticized the statement for being vague and non-committal. The agency did not directly address the use of cornrows or Bantu knots, nor did it acknowledge the specific criticisms raised by black fans. This kind of generalized apology is common in the industry but often seen as performative, a PR move rather than a commitment to change. For a segment of the fanbase, the apology was too little, too late. Many called for concrete actions, sensitivity training for idols and staff, hiring of cultural consultants, and stricter oversight when planning concepts that draw from marginalized cultures. The Kiss of Life incident reflects broader issues within the K-pop industry. Most K-pop agencies are run by Korean staff who may not fully understand the cultural contexts of the aesthetics and genres they use. As a result, they often recycle visual codes and stylistic choices without considering their origins. The absence of diversity within agencies exacerbates this problem. Without black voices or cultural experts in the room, missteps are more likely to occur. The global nature of K-pop demands a more global mindset, one that includes active listening, learning, and unlearning. Additionally, the profit-driven nature of K-pop encourages constant reinvention and spectacle. Concepts must be catchy, fresh, and attention-grabbing, which sometimes leads to the adoption of controversial or provocative themes. Unfortunately, this pursuit of virality can lead to insensitivity, especially when artists are encouraged to look hip-hop without being educated on what that means. Fans have a crucial role in holding idols accountable. In this case, black K-pop fans took the lead in educating others and advocating for cultural respect. Their voices helped shape the narrative around the controversy, ensuring that the group and agency could not ignore the backlash. However, this advocacy often comes at a cost. Black fans who speak out about cultural appropriation are frequently met with harassment, gaslighting, or dismissal. They are accused of being too sensitive or of ruining the fun. This adds another layer of complexity. The very people trying to protect their culture are often ostracized by the communities they support. Gatekeeping, when a community tries to control who can access or represent their culture, is a way of preserving cultural integrity. While some see gatekeeping as exclusionary, others argue that it is necessary in an age where everything can be co-opted for profit. The Kiss of Life controversy can be a learning moment for the industry if taken seriously. Education is the key. Agencies must prioritize cultural sensitivity training, especially when planning concepts that draw from non-Korean traditions. This includes understanding the history of black hairstyles, fashion, music, and mannerisms before using them in any form of media. Artists themselves must also take responsibility. While it's true that many idols are young and follow the guidance of stylists and managers, they are public figures with influence. Learning about the cultures they represent, even unintentionally, is part of their growth as global artists. Moreover, fan communities can play a more constructive role by supporting educational initiatives and advocating for change while avoiding unnecessary hate or personal attacks. Dialogue, when done respectfully, can lead to meaningful shifts in the industry. The Kiss of Life birthday livestream controversy underscores the ongoing challenge of cultural appropriation in K-pop. While the incident may have stemmed from a desire to celebrate hip-hop, its execution revealed a lack of cultural sensitivity and awareness. The backlash from fans, particularly those from the black community, was both justified and necessary, a reminder that intent does not excuse impact. For K-pop to truly thrive on the global stage, it must evolve beyond aesthetic borrowing. It must embrace cultural education, accountability, and collaboration. The future of K-pop depends not only on its creativity but also on its willingness to respect and understand the cultures it draws from. Only then can it build a more inclusive and respectful global fandom. My personal is that people who feel hurt shouldn't get dismissed, and that the part of Kiss of Life's fandom that are still defending them girls or saying that people shouldn't anymore make use of their half-baked apologies are as uneducated as their idols. And stop accepting their excuses because this letter is fills with excuses and excuses only and those excuses are unoriginal. So please stop defending And what make it worse, they're all dead and did this while knowing that it will get people mad. And be mad at Madboo. This apology isn't one because they've totally missed the point. And we have even some fans being mad because of their letter filled with excuses and disguises an apology. I'm demanding a live stream. I'm demanding another handwritten apology. The only thing that I want to see is actions that will prove that they willing to prove, and instead of crying because we are holding accountable. Girls, especially you Julie, stop trying to make your isolated and uneducated fans feel bad for you and sit the fuck down to listen to what the people that have a problem with you and your members are telling you. It's not that hard. I promise. Now, I'm returning under my rock.